Hello everyone, this is Faruk and you're at Revpanda Live. It's already September and the iGaming holiday season is over. I hope you all had a great summertime and you're ready for the new challenges. At Revpanda, we have been super busy. We organized an amazing event with our partners at Ace Alliance in Riga, and we have been working on delivering some great content for you, just like this episode today, where I'm hosting Wojtek Sznapka, CEO and co-founder at Gamblitude, and we'll talk about how working with the right data insights can be a game changer for your player acquisition, retention, and compliance. Wojtek, it's a pleasure to have you on our podcast. How are you today?
Hi Faruk, thank you. I'm very good today. It's sunny, still sunny here in Poland, so all is good.
Yeah, Wojtek, you and I actually we had some common history back in I think 2016, 17 in my previous company when I was doing marketing automation. We were working with you like a provider client at that time, but we didn't know each other. It's actually such a coincidence, and we are both, located in Poland. So it's really great to have a guest from my host country.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Fantastic.
Great to be here. Thanks.
I will get to the part, about this story and everything later on, but I just want to say one thing. I've been personally waiting for this episode because we all know that in iGaming, growth isn't just about launching games or acquiring players. It's about understanding player behavior, staying compliant, very important, of course, and making smart decisions based on some numbers. But the real magic happens when raw data turns into insights that operators and affiliates can actually take an action. So Wojtek, let's maybe get started. At the beginning, I would like to ask you about your background because it's super impressive to me in iGaming industry. What was your path into iGaming? How did you end up in this industry?
Yeah, after a couple of years working as a developer and architect here in Polish software houses, I saw this job posting for position in iGaming company from Malta, which back then I confused with gaming, which brought me to this thing, because I didn't have a clue what iGaming or online casinos are. So that was 2014, and I joined the company called Cherry. Now they known as Kaman Group, as a head of development, and we opened this development office in Katowice. And we were building the casino platforms, affiliation software, payment gateways, to name a few. And I spent more than 4 years there. And then I joined STS, which you already referred to as a CTO. And for like last 7 years, we were like building our own in-house platform. Everything, like whole technology was in-house. I was managing development teams, database specialists, data analysts, data scientists, you name it. And yeah, Polish market, as you know, is very challenging. So there was a lot of challenges. But yeah, for like past 7 years when I was there, we were still being number one operator in Poland. So that was very, very challenging and very rewarding at the same time, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, for those who are not living in Poland, like wherever you go, every corner you turn, you see the brand. So it's like something to be really proud of. So, yeah. And also your background with data and development, everything is, to me, it's very, very impressive. I always enjoy hosting product people in the show, honestly. So that's just a great feeling. Wojtek, I'm curious about one thing. What was the first pain point you saw in the market that made you say, okay, something needs to change here. I'm going to build the solution. Can you tell about it for our listeners?
Of course. So yeah, actually there is a paradox. So either you are a smaller or mid operator, which have like quite limited analytics and just, access to high level KPIs without real depth. Or you're a big operator, like we've been at STS, which there is like quite a chaos in data. Like there is conflicted KPI definitions. There is like lot of sources that you need to incorporate. And on top of that, there is this part of the company which is called business intelligence guys, and those guys can really work with data usually, and they are always overloaded. And whenever we speak with companies, small or big, they always say the same. Like the data teams are super busy, and whatever you need to wait basically in the queue. And those analysts, they usually spend most of the time doing ad hoc requests instead of real analysis, like understanding the business, being proactive, and there is this feeling of disconnection in the organization. And both those extremes, like lack of analytics or too much analytics or too big, too chaotic analytics, leads to problems basically. Leads to slowing down decisions, compliance risks, etc. So this is where we brought this idea to life and thought like, let's try to change this. Let's try to change this approach to using old school tools and maybe not fit for the purpose. And so that's where we came up with Gamblitude.
Amazing. It's also like the startup, idea. So like a founder's mentality. This is great to hear from you as well, Wojtek. You were mentioning about the importance of data, and it is now the most common saying. They say like data is the new fuel, right? So this is how it works in our era right now. On the other hand, seeing how fragmented data is slowing down decision-making processes, where do you think the industry stands today, especially for the operators and affiliates we were just mentioning?
Yes, so there are those two extremes, like operators with very little investment in analytics, just to seeing high-level numbers, or operators with struggling with patchwork of disconnected system and conflicting KPI definitions. And the problem is both those situations led into the teams to be reactive. They only see what's happened. They don't see in the future. So the good thing is, as you mentioned, there is the awareness growing, and basically the industry sees the need for that. And that's not easy, to change from to modernize your data stack from the overnight. So they are aware that the data is important. There is this. They know that they need single source of truth and real-time access, which is super important for me. And this is exactly where we want to be with Gamblitude. We want to do this, mindset shift that we need data. We need to move from this reactive and fragmented mode to proactive and more unified views on the data.
Right. So it is actually not just a simple dashboard, but something actually saying something to the data analytics team or the, let's say, whichever team, let's say even marketing teams or content teams, because you are now guessing what would be the next step for the players, and you can suggest those actions, which we will just talk about in a minute. I'm still curious about the whole setup of Gamblitude, because it was just an idea. Now it's like a working product. Were there any early challenges, maybe even some fun stories from the first steps?
Yes. So one of the stories is my co-founder Piotr. We are like good friends. Worked together at STS. I was a CTO there. Piotr was chief sportsbook officer, and he always mentioned that like he, as a guy responsible for sportsbook, for trading, he needs access to data, and he needs answers on daily basis, because in sportsbook it's really dynamic,
super dynamic, right?
There is always something changing. The odds are changing, the situation in the market, the competition, and he needed the answers really quickly. And there was reports, of course, there was good reports, but there was something that you need all the time. There was something that is outside of the box. So whenever he got to the BI team was busy all the time. So he came to me, Wojtek, get me that from data warehouse, and because I need it for yesterday. So there was like a lot of stories, and Piotr was the best, business user, is the best business user for Gamblitude, because this is the tool. He always says that this is the tool I would use at my job on daily basis. But back to your questions, like there's a lot of challenges doing this product, and one of the biggest one is the scale, of course, scale of data, volume of data. And if you are a data nerd like I am, this is like iGaming is the perfect place for you, because there's tons of bets, tickets, clients information. It's coming in millions daily. So there is a good place to flourish, basically. So we basically started with doing proper data warehouse, because this is part of our offering as well. Proper data warehouse architecture, scalable, cost efficient, and that was the foundation for our product. And the other thing was the usability, and this is still a big challenge for us, because we want this tool to be really accessible for regular users, not only for data analysts who are trained to build dashboards in complicated software, but also for everyday user from many departments on the big companies and small. So we want to build this no code layer, and this was our top priority. And we are quite aware that if this tool won't be useful for regular users, for regular business users, this mindset shift in a data-driven approach won't happen. It needs to be easy to use, so everyone is able and eager to use it.
Correct. By the way, shout out to Piotr from us today at our session. Yeah. As co-founders, you actually spotted, that pain point, and I always believe that the issues, the problems that you experience yourself, and then when you develop a product out of this, it is actually something really resonates with the market. So congrats on that. And let's continue a little bit further on the vision part, maybe when you're creating Gamblitude. So together with Piotr, I'm wondering about your vision. So what you were seeing when you were creating the company, and also in your own words, as you know, like there are lots of other like similar products. I wouldn't say it's the same, because I had a chance to check out the tool myself. So it looks like pretty unique to me, but still there are some similar tools out there. What makes it different from all the other dashboards and analytics tools out there?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it actually comes to three things, I would say. First, it's built exclusively for iGaming. So it can handle massive amount of transactions, and it comes with features that are quite unique for the industry. And those features, besides stuff which you see everywhere like dashboards or charts, those features like Data Explorer, searching particular information about the clients, etc., are very useful from our experience to operational team in the operators. Second, we put a lot of effort to do this 100% no code and really accessible to anyone, and not just analysts, so anyone can explore and make informed decisions. And third, it's AI native from the ground up. So we provide the AI agent, which is trained on iGaming data. It supports you on every step, from spotting anomalies, defining and explaining KPIs, providing you answers to data, to making everything in the platform for you as a sort of co-pilot.
I think it's also a good time to ask you about AI. By the way, there's a funny thing in our podcast, since AI is a kind of hype word, right? In the last couple of years, our followers always joking, okay, what's the minute that you'll first say the AI word, so they're betting on it. So we have this really funny moment with our followers. So how is your AI agent different from, let's say, using the other ones, like the generic ones, for instance, ChatGPT or others, connected to a certain database?
Yeah, so first of all, it's like being built into the platform. And so you don't need to leave it. You have it on the side, and it's trained on the industry data, so it understands the terminology, it understands your like company, how it works, it trains on your data as we go. Plus it's we put a lot of effort to limit hallucinations. So we made a mechanism where it uses the KPIs and the metrics which are defined in the system. It doesn't come up with his own, definitions. So it's using actually the data that you have. And one more important thing, it's the data never leaves our cloud. So we have this model running locally. And we make sure that data stays inside the cloud and never leaves to any other APIs. Because data is very precious, and we cannot afford any sort of leaks or insecurities. So this is really important, and we put a lot of effort to make it very secure.
Absolutely. I think it is not only about data analytics tool, but even like choosing an iGaming platform provider. Nowadays, everybody's looking at the data, the privacy, and data protection in general. So it is so important, and the player acquisition costs are really high at the moment. And I think I read it like in the last 3 years, it doubled the player acquisition cost. So this is something that everybody is considering, and nobody wants to share the data. So you're 100%, spot on over here. And it's not only about the technology, but also, Wojtek, as you know, we have got regulations getting tighter and tighter, especially in Europe where we live. And also the market demands more transparency, right? So It leads a kind of a better partnership between different parties. So I'm just wondering where Gamblitude stands for reliable data analytics, considering the regulations and the transparency and other aspects.
Yeah, so the regulations, it's no secret that it's getting harder and harder everywhere. Like Polish market changed a lot during my time in it, but it's compared to UK, Swedish, or Dutch. It's really it's easier, I would say. I shouldn't say easier, but it's like UK market is probably one of the places where we've also been with one of our brands at SCS. So all parts of regulations are getting harder and harder, from AML, responsible gambling, all the stuff, payments. So and that creates really huge reporting and monitoring obligations for operators. And I cannot imagine doing fulfilling those obligations without proper analytics and doing that by hand manually. So it's no longer like optional, like nice to have analytics. You need to have it in order to run your operation, because otherwise you are risking being non-compliant. And we provide real-time data, which is super important for players. And we provide this AI agent, which is also able to work in the background, which gives you and you can prompt it. You can make the commands that, right, I want to look for possible breaches in responsible gambling limits. I want to see suspicious deposits and whether I should check this client, and get those messages instantly, not only in the platform but on the other communication channels. So it makes sure that makes you compliant. But first of all, this is the data that you need, a proper data model and proper data quality that we basically provide.
Yeah, maybe, we noticed that I think we passed all those times that data is kind of processed or, let's say, reviewed manually. Probably you see more cases, and I will not be surprised if there are like Excel sheets and so on going on. But on the other hand, we are in the market, let's say operators are offered some, let's say, packages on the platform providers, and they need to just do the data analytics and track everything over there too, and have some insights from there. But it is just like one size for all. So it is not exactly how you were saying, like AI agent is not customized for the iGaming data, for instance, or it's not customized for that particular operators' data that you could actually feed. So I believe it's a big game changer over here to support of such a tool and a dashboard like this. So we speak really nice stuff. So far, it's great. I believe the operators are enjoying also the conversation, the possibilities and everything. But how quickly can a new operator get started? And then they can see all these actionable insights that you were talking about.
Yeah, so basically, it's just a matter of connecting, the data from the platform, and you have this our tool in the cloud. So you log in, and we don't invite you to the empty bar. We provide you dashboards, whether you are casino operator, sportsbook, lottery, poker. All those dashboards are already pre-built for you. We also provide with because in the heart of the system is a metrics module, which is sort of the data governance approach to this, and. So we provide those standard metrics like NGR, stakes, etc., deposits, and all the ratios that usually operators uses, and then we show them how to create their own metrics based on data. And so basically from the day one, once the data are in the system, in the data warehouse, because there's some integration required. Then you log into the system and you can start using it from the get-go. Both dashboards, you can explore data on your own with tool called Master Chart or Data Explorer, or you can just basically ask agent the questions that you like. Give me last week stakes breakdown by league, for instance, and it will get you in like a couple of seconds.
I think another great thing here that you mentioned, you're not just providing the tool itself with login details. I love how you said it. And also working with you, like with such an experienced team, because you're actually coming from the industry and you know the pain points. That's why you build something. And you actually have a lot to say to the operators. You can show them some issues before they actually hit those problems. So I believe this is super valuable, not on the technology side, but also, let's say, the consultation side, or like walking them through the potential issues they may have. And talking about the issues that they may have, like I see recently, entering new markets could be a challenge for many operators, right? So as a follow-up on what we were talking, how easily can Gamplitude adapt when an operator expands into new markets?
I would say bluntly, in no time, basically. You just usually have the data already because it's coming from platform, assuming that you are running the new brand on the same platform. So we have the data, we have the dimensions, and we just create a dashboard to show you how to filter the data, or it shows up automatically. So it's actually pretty easy to connect another brand or another geography, and as you said, like we've been doing this. Like I'm into data analytics and machine learning for good 12 years, and really spend a lot of time in iGaming doing that. So I got a lot of requests from the business, from a lot of businesses to provide the data and provide dashboards, reports. And Piotr, my co-founder, is also very experienced from the business perspective. So we've seen a lot of scenarios, and in all those companies, those reports are quite similar, because you wouldn't reinvent the data analysis in the industry. Right. You usually look on similar metrics. Of course, metrics can vary and definition can vary across the companies, but usually it's the sort of same set of dashboards and same sort of metrics. So we want to provide this, and as you said, we want to enhance that, because the product is still evolving. So we will be adding this, and hopefully it will be helpful for operators with this journey.
Absolutely. Wojtek, I actually would like to maybe come to the real question that people would like to hear today. It could be like the theme of our chat. So data analytics is, of course, a critical part of acquisition, but not only the acquisition phase with the players, but retention, and to me, most important, even the compliance strategies for iGaming businesses. So with your own words, can you please tell us like how this right data analytics can help with the acquisition, retention, engagement, and even compliance strategies for iGaming operators and other businesses?
Of course. So, like starting with acquisition, this was the big part of data warehouse usage in a business where I saw, because you really spend a lot of money on acquisition, and you need to make sure that you're spending this money correctly and put, making the biggest bang for a buck. So without having good data and good analytics and analytics, especially when you're doing paid media affiliation, advertising on the internet, connected with events like sports events, which we saw with our media team at STS, it's super crucial to have up-to-date data and quality data to make the better decisions, because otherwise it just wasted money. Then we go to retention. As you mentioned, retention is super complicated because you need to target the right people with the right amount of bonuses. You need to create those campaigns properly, segment your client base accordingly, and you need to have right calculations of the values where you're segmenting. Otherwise, you assigning clients to the wrong buckets, or sending wrong, or overpaying or underpaying, God forbid. So the retention is used data warehouse very, very heavily. And then we come to like operational part. So there is like, I cannot see operational teams at any operators without using data, because all the casino and sportsbook offer management is based on data, because you see what's performing and what not, and you need to have it in real time, especially when it comes to sportsbook. Plus, you need to take care of the clients, and you need to see whether there's the bonus abusements happening, there's some fraud, there's some responsible gambling. Ideally, you want to detect those things before they happen, because this is limiting your costs. So it's like data analytics. It's all over the place, and there is no single place in the operator's life cycle where you can live without data analytics. And some of those modules which we brought are made, for instance, for with the purpose of legal team, because legal team is usually asking a lot of. We have this dispute with client. We need data, and data is fragmented. This is in one back office, second back office, and third is something missing. We need to fetch it from the data warehouse. Data analysts are busy, so we build those tools also to accommodate for those situations.
Absolutely, and especially in these cases, like CRM is in one place, and then tracking tool is in another place. You have some other data coming in from the other tools through API in most of the cases, and you need to just somehow bring them together. And one issue that I can actually tell myself, like when I'm sitting with our clients or even in our own company, when you have a dashboard, like different people from different departments looking at the same thing, they either don't understand, like not all of them understand what's going on, or they understand different things, which can really lead to some kind of problems that you cannot return. So that is very crucial, in my opinion. From what you say, I also understand that part. So we talk about the Gamblitude tool and how it started, the journey, the pain points that you spotted. And then later on, we talked about the onboarding, connecting data, and everything else. And I know that you already work with, some partners, and I'm very curious about one thing. So let's say a new operator starts working with you. What is the aha moment when they start working with the tool, like the first impressions that they have?
Yeah. So usually it's when they're like the users realize how quickly you can get the answers. So either because most of the people I speak to, they are used to having this days. Like I'll send the request for new report or for piece of data, and we will come after some back and forth with some data analyst or BI team, and I will get this in a couple of days, and probably I need to iterate a couple more, do a couple more iterations in order to get what I actually want. And here they're doing that themselves in a minutes, like with very user friendly UI. Or they basically use AI agent, which is like everyone these days are used to this AI interaction with AI in a text manner. So everyone uses ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and they basically are used to like type the question and get the answer. And this is exactly what our AI agent does. Like it gives you the answer, gives you the charts, which complements the answer. So like I think the speed of things that they can get is really amazing for the clients.
Well, definitely the UI UX is so important, speed for sure. And I like the way that you made it through an AI agent, which is like super customized for the client, because it is a habit right now. It's like we talk to AI agents every day. We actually type prompts, etc. So this is part of our life, and a new reality, honestly, going on here for all of us. Wojtek, I want to come back to something that you mentioned a little bit earlier, which is about uh, no-code tools. That you actually have a tool that people with no tech backgrounds can use. Can you tell us more about it? Because I know that myself included and the people around me, whenever you talk about data analytics, they are a bit scared. So they feel like, oh my God, there will be lots of, technical things I need to do. I need to work on some codes and so on. How can Gamblitude help non-tech teams drive those important business decisions?
Yeah, so I think this is a consequence of wide adoption of quite heavy data visualization tools. I won't name the names, but which makes the data analysis really cumbersome and scary. So we wanted to get rid of this, and we see that this is possible to make data analytics really easy. And one of those things is actually this no code dashboard. So the big problem in the industry is that when the organization grows, there is a lot of teams using the data warehouse or using the reporting, and we've seen that often that the KPIs, the definition of the metrics, start to misalign. So one uses NGR with bonuses, other one uses NGR without bonuses. Or there was some introduction of new products. Someone forgot to add this new product to this definition, but it was added to the other definition. And so the reports start to misalign. And we wanted to make this sure that these metrics are in the core of the system and they are used like throughout the all dashboards. So what you basically do is either you use dashboards which are already provided, or you just pick the metrics. I want deposit, I want withdrawals on the line chart or the bar chart. I want to break it down by any other dimension, like I don't know, geography or gender or whatever else, and you just add it into the dashboard, and that takes 1 minute, couple of clicks. But then after you get familiar with that, you just ask AI agent, give me the withdrawals and deposits chart broke down by geography, add it to this dashboard, and boom, 30 seconds, you're ready to go. So we really put a lot of effort into making this. And what's most important, because what differentiates us from the big visualization tools is that I wouldn't do myself report in Tableau because I have no idea how to do this. Like probably most of us are not able to do that. So you need to have these trainings, hours of trainings, and you have to have this expertise in it to make those reports. and then you're becoming the bottleneck in the company. And now we want to avoid this. We want to do this purely data-driven approach where everyone is able to create his own visualizations on his own needs, because every department in company needs something else, and we want to basically unlock this.
Wojtek, now I understand better what Piotr, actually your co-founder, meant coming to you, knocking your door, and Wojtek, please, get me this report. I need this and that. Because let's say, data analytics team might be super busy. Like there might be like deadlines and so on. And we also understand those people. But if there's a solution that you can create those reports and everything else that you need yourself without applying anybody, but just going to an AI agent, which is built for you, by the way, like dedicated for you, that would be super helpful, and it will eliminate those blockers, as you were mentioning. Just very briefly, I want to ask you just to learn myself, because there might be like some different applications. So you were talking about the data warehouses, and I understand that it is important for the privacy point of view and data production, everything. So it will be kept, in your database, so that is not going to be shared with outside. It is amazing for operators.
Yes.
Are there any technical advantages having a dedicated data warehouse?
Yeah, of course. So listen, this data warehouse is something which you don't see when you consume the reports, but this is the heart of it. It's like the data visualization which you see is just a tip of an iceberg, and everything happens in the data warehouse actually. And the question is, how well is your data warehouse prepared for that? Because it needs to be real time. It needs to be fast, because you don't want to. Back in the days, even before I joined SCS, the big thing on the market was doing data warehouses on Hadoop, and everyone was doing this on Apache Hadoop. The Spotify was one of the biggest clusters of Hadoops in the Europe, and but the thing is, you had to wait for every query to run. So you run the query, you go grab a coffee, and hopefully it ran without any problems. Now with the tools that we use Google BigQuery under the hood. It runs on petabyte scale, blazing fast, and Google uses it for its internal products and internal analytics, as well as offering its intercloud. So having good data warehouse architecture is super crucial. Additional thing is that we kept raw data. So we use the data lakehouse paradigm, which allows us to keep cost efficiently raw data. And this is super important in terms of AI, because usually you need the raw data points, not the summarization of data, in order to do proper training of machine learning models, proper AI training. Without that, it will be quite hard, or those models won't be as good as they can be. So having control over that is super important. And of course, there is the cost thing. So it can be costly. It can be really expensive to run it when you run it not very optimized. And we have a lot of those experiences, how to make it fit for purpose and fit these volumes that we see in iGaming world.
Yeah, usually when people decide about any softwares or tools related with data, they actually would like to go with on-premise solutions, and that could be super expensive, as you say. Even building yourself could be a pain. And then they prioritize. They say, okay, I need to keep my data in-house. I don't want to share it with anywhere. So you already solved this problem with this dedicated data warehouse, and I guess that no valid questions left after that, so people can actually apply the tool right away. But I understand right now better, what the tool offers, what solutions that you have got, and the problems you solve. But I want to apply with your iGaming knowledge and experience, and let's maybe talk about the data analytics in iGaming. How do you see it in the, let's say, next 5 years time? And we were talking about AI, predictive analytics, personalization, which is super important. How do you see all these coming together in our industry in the near future, for instance?
Yeah, this is really good topic, and we see that AI becoming more and more important for like every part of businesses, not only our industry. But I think in 5 years we will see a lot of automation and a lot of business processes being automated with machine learning models, with AI agents, and this will become more cost effective, of course, for the operators, and will give better experience for the players. I think we will see a lot more like predictive analysis. So and the focus from what just happened is will shift towards what is about to happen, which is super important. And as you said, I think one of from all of those, the personalization will be super crucial, because we see that in other industries. We see that in entertainment, we see it in streaming, music, and whatnot, and e-commerce. So the personalization is everywhere. It's not so deeply rooted in iGaming, and I think there is still a lot of room for improvement to tune the experiences and to personalize it to every single player. And so I think that will be even more and more happening even more and more in the future.
I can't wait for that. Wojtek, I just want to also ask you, how do you see Gamblitude fitting in this vision that you have got for the future of our industry?
So, of course, we want to be like first choice when it comes to data analytics. That's probably every startup dream, to be the top in their field. But we don't want to stop only on data analytics. We have the full roadmap ahead with the machine learning models and AI approaches. We also want to create a marketplace, which is Piotr's idea, very early idea, to provide operators various sources of data which they can use to enhance their offering. So we want to be, full AI driven data engine for the industry. And I think we are on the right path. We are now building this foundation, which actually is already built. And this foundation to be data analytics and to have this data warehouse, and then capitalize on that and provide even more and more offers to the clients. I think we really love this AI movement, and we try also to build our company slightly different. We don't aim into having tons of people doing manual work. We really leverage a lot of AI on our daily basis, and we want to bring that to operators as well.
This is very exciting, and I can't wait to see all these features and developments that you have in plan. And you can actually share all those things with iGaming professionals, because I know that you're heading to Lisbon for SBC Summit, right?
That's true. The whole team is going to. The team is quite small at the moment, but the whole team is heading to Lisbon, and we are really looking forward to speak to a lot of friends and potential clients and basically people who wants to exchange ideas.
All right, then let's suggest all our listeners today, go ahead and book a meeting with you in person and have a short demo and understand, what new things you bring to the industry. Wojtek, okay. We covered your journey from the moment that you spotted the problems, and then later on, you just went ahead all these predictive and AI-powered analytics, solving the issues that you discovered. And in my personal opinion, what you do at Gamblitude, it's not just a dashboard. It is a tool that actually helps operators and affiliates to do something with their data. And it is exactly what we need in the industry, because you mentioned, it's also for non-tech people, it is very easy to integrate and get started fast, personalized, working with the latest technology available in the market. So these are like fantastic inputs. I'm very happy, for our industry to have such capabilities in these times. So considering what we had like 10 years ago, and so it's just such a great advancement. So for anyone listening us who would like to connect with you, I will drop the details. I know you're also very active on LinkedIn, so they can connect with you on LinkedIn as well. Do you have anything else to add today for our listeners, Wojtek?
Yeah, thanks a lot for kind words. I would just urge listeners to think about the data not as some sort of scary mythical thing that is hard to harness, but something that could be really presented in simple way and could be operated really easily by anyone in industry, whether you are a specialist or a C-level. So don't be scared of data, because it's not that scary as it sounds.
I love it. It can be like a title of the podcast, like "Don't be scared of data." This is amazing. Wojtek, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story. And everyone else tuning in today, thank you for listening. Don't forget to mark your calendars for our next session. I promise it is something that you may want to see as well on top of this one. And I will see you all at the next Revpanda live session. Thank you.
Thank you very much.